Hey now, my name is Nick from Board Game Brawl, and this is your Kickstarter update. And every time I feel like I'm finally catching up with all of the high-profile projects that have been released on Kickstarter, a bunch more are released. So let's give it our best shot and cover what we can. Terra Nova Games is bringing you Far Space Foundry, which is a worker placement game that also uses a rondel. Thematically, the players are working together because they need to supply this Galactic Federation with the upgrades necessary for their fleet, but it is a competitive game because you're trying to do that better than the other players. You need to bring in ore, process it, make it into upgrades, and ship it out in the proper way, and in the best way in order to put yourself above your peers. It has really cool graphic design and artwork, and if that's your type of thing, you might want to check it out. Mercs Miniatures is bringing you Myth Journeyman, which is actually two separate big box expansions for its now infamous dungeon crawler Myth, the Blackwall Warrens and the Shores of Canis. Both games' expansions offer you new monsters, new characters, new tiles, new scenarios, the typical things you'd expect an expansion for a dungeon crawler. That's not really what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the fact that there's this old cliche joke about tabletop games on Kickstarter that if you put a lot of halfway decent miniatures into a project, you're going to make tons of money. And I always smirk at that joke, but I think that Myth Journeyman is really proving that to be true. I can't imagine another reason that it would have made over $300,000 at this point, because Myth, while it itself made a ton of money on Kickstarter, since it has been released, it has been a disaster as far as critical reception, a completely unfinished rulebook that a second edition of which just came out within the last few months, missing pieces, unfulfilled rewards that were just being delivered as soon as last month. Last month I got a box at my house with miniatures and I got rid of the game gleefully months ago. And arrogance from the designers who essentially left the game to be designed by the players as they played. It was not a finished game and is not to this day, and yet people are backing it in droves, and it has to be that people just want these components to paint, or that they are doubling down on their investment, which I believe is another thing about Kickstarter that holds to be true. If you invest a lot of money in something, you will defend it to the death in most cases. For me, I am totally over that. I am over Myth. I am not giving it another shot. I gave it another shot when I got the Wave 2 stuff. Still a huge disappointment. And if you are new to Myth and you're wondering whether you should get in on this new Kickstarter from this level, I would definitely consider this a case of buyer beware. My name is Nick from Board Game Brawl. You can check me out at youtube.com/BoardGameBrawl, and Myth fans can email me directly at boardgamebrawl@gmail.com. This has been your Kickstarter update, and I'm reminding you to get out there and game every day and in every way. Take care.